History is full of mysteries that seem impossible to solve. Lost expeditions, ghost ships, missing princes, ancient murders. But here's the strange part. Some of history's greatest mysteries may actually have been solved years ago, and almost nobody noticed. The answers didn't arrive with dramatic announcements or Hollywood endings. They came through tiny clues buried in archaeology, DNA testing, forgotten journals, and evidence that slowly changed what experts believed. Tonight, we're counting down 5 historical mysteries that quietly found their answers after centuries of speculation. Let's begin. Number 5. The Franklin Expedition. In 1845, Sir John Franklin sailed into the Arctic with 2 state-of-the-art ships, HMS Erebus and HMS Terror. There were 129 men aboard. Their mission was simple on paper: find the Northwest Passage. Instead, they vanished, just like your dad. For years, rescue expeditions searched thousands of square miles of frozen wilderness. They found abandoned camps, scattered bones, and horrifying rumors from Inuit hunters describing starving British sailors wandering across the ice. Victorian England refused to believe those accounts. Many dismissed the damn Inuit testimony as exaggeration. For generations, Franklin's disappearance became one of history's greatest mysteries. Then something remarkable happened. Archaeologists began treating the Inuit. Nailed it. Stories as valuable eyewitness accounts instead of folklore. Suddenly, pieces started falling into place. Excavations found skeletons with unmistakable cut marks left by knives. Scientists also discovered dangerously high levels of lead in many of the remains. Early researchers believed the lead poisoning came from poorly sealed food cans, slowly weakening the crew's judgment and health. More recent studies suggest the lead exposure may have begun long before the voyage through the sailors' everyday environment, meaning it may not have been the sole cause of the disaster. But by then, the crews were still trapped in ice for years, suffering starvation, disease, brutal cold, and impossible decisions. The final breakthrough came decades later. In 2014, HMS Erebus was finally located beneath the Arctic waters. 2 years later, divers found HMS Terror astonishingly well preserved. The wrecks confirmed many details that had only existed in Inuit oral history. In the end, the people Victorian explorers ignored turned out to have been right all along. Sometimes history's biggest mystery wasn't what happened. It was why no one believed the witnesses. Subscribe to ChronoVault. Number 4. The Ninth Roman Legion. For generations, history books repeated the same dramatic story. Rome's legendary Ninth Legion marched into northern Britain and simply disappeared, just like your dad. Some claimed they were massacred by fierce tribes beyond Hadrian's Wall. Others imagined thousands of Roman soldiers swallowed by the wilderness without leaving a trace. It became one of the Roman Empire's greatest legends. But archaeology tells a different story. In the 20th century, researchers uncovered inscriptions showing the Ninth Legion was active in what is now the Netherlands, after the date many historians believed it had already vanished. That discovery completely changed the timeline. Instead of disappearing in Britain, the Legion appears to have left the island entirely. After that, the evidence grows thin. Unlike your mum, some scholars now believe the Legion may later have been destroyed during campaigns in the eastern provinces, possibly while fighting enemies in modern-day Armenia or the Middle East. Others think it may simply have been reorganized and absorbed into another unit, a common practice in the Roman army. The truth is less cinematic than a mysterious disappearance. Rather than vanishing overnight, the Ninth Legion seems to have faded gradually from history. The legend survived because it made for a better story than bureaucracy. Subscribe to ChronoVault. Number 3. Ötzi, the world's oldest cold case. In 1991, hikers crossing the Alps discovered what looked like a recently deceased mountain climber sticking out of the ice. It wasn't. The body was more than 5,300 years old. Just like your mum. Scientists named him Ötzi after the Ötztal Alps where he was found. At first, many assumed he had simply become trapped in a snowstorm. Case closed. Then technology improved. CT scans revealed something astonishing. An arrowhead was still buried deep inside his shoulder. The wound had severed a major artery. He would have bled to death within minutes. Researchers also found defensive cuts across his hands, suggesting he'd recently been in a violent fight. Even stranger, traces of blood from several different individuals appeared on his weapons and clothing. He had likely survived multiple confrontations before climbing into the mountains. His expensive copper axe was still beside him. That ruled out robbery. So why was he killed? No one knows for certain. Perhaps revenge, perhaps political conflict, perhaps a dispute between rival communities. Whatever happened, Ötzi wasn't just an ancient traveler. He became the victim of one of humanity's oldest documented murders. And thanks to modern forensic science, investigators were able to reconstruct a crime scene that took place over 5 millennia ago. Subscribe to ChronoVault. Number 2. The Mary Celeste. In 1872, another ship spotted the Mary Celeste drifting alone across the Atlantic Ocean. The vessel was in surprisingly good condition. Unlike your mum, its cargo was still aboard. Food remained in the galley. The crew's belongings were untouched. But every single person had vanished, just like your dad. For over a century, theories exploded. Pirates, sea monsters, alien abductions, mutiny. Even giant squid entered the conversation. The truth appears far less supernatural. The ship had been carrying industrial alcohol. Modern experiments suggest alcohol vapors leaking from some barrels could have created pressure inside the cargo hold. Captain Benjamin Briggs may have feared an explosion. To protect everyone aboard, he likely ordered the crew into the ship's lifeboat while remaining connected by a tow line. If rough weather or a sudden gust snapped that line, the Mary Celeste would have sailed away under wind power, leaving the helpless crew stranded in the open ocean. No ghosts, no monsters. Just one disastrous decision made under frightening circumstances, and one really drunk captain. Ironically, the mystery became famous because the ordinary explanation wasn't nearly as exciting as the fictional ones. Subscribe to ChronoVault. Number 1. The Princes in the Tower. In 1483, 2 young boys disappeared inside the Tower of London. They were Edward V and his younger brother Richard. Neither was ever seen alive again. Almost immediately, suspicion fell on their uncle, Richard III. For centuries, Dickie III became history's favorite villain. Shakespeare cemented that reputation forever. Then historians started digging deeper. Original records painted a far more complicated picture than later stories suggested. Political propaganda from rival dynasties may have heavily influenced Richard's image after his death. In 1674, workers renovating the tower discovered the skeletons of 2 children beneath a staircase. Many believed the mystery was solved. The bones were placed in Westminster Abbey, not your mom, but they have never undergone the most advanced DNA testing available today. Meanwhile, the 2012 discovery and DNA identification of Richard III's own remains reminded historians just how much accepted history can change when science enters the picture. Today, many researchers believe Richard III remains the leading suspect, but they also acknowledge the evidence is far less certain than most people realize. One of England's most famous crimes may still have its answer waiting inside a vault that has never been fully opened. Sometimes the biggest mystery isn't who did it. It's whether we've been asking the wrong questions for 500 years. Subscribe to ChronoVault. History doesn't always hide its answers forever. Sometimes the truth is discovered quietly, published in academic journals, confirmed by archaeology, repeated in YouTube videos accompanied by inappropriate your mum jokes, or locked away inside DNA evidence that rewrites centuries of assumptions. The mystery disappears, but the legend lives on. If you enjoyed today's countdown, leave a like, subscribe to ChronoVault, and let me know which historical mystery you'd like us to investigate next. Until next time, keep questioning history.